Camera not working.
Hello? Hello? Can you hear? Can you guys hear me? Oliver? Odell? I'll leave this open for a little bit. See who else pops in. Do you have any questions to start out with? If you do, if you hover on the left with the Q&A, it'll pop up in the sidebar.
Yo, 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 yo.
Hey!
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Nice headphones.
You too. Nice hair.
Thank you. Yep,
When did that happen?
2 or 3 days ago.
Really? Wait, turn to the side again. Oh.
You
Wow.
see? And then there's...
Awesome.
So this is actually fundraising for childhood cancer. And so they're actually both names of kids. On this side is Jaden. She's 11 years old, and it's her 6th brain tumor in 5 years.
Oh
And
my
then
God.
on this side is Max. He's 7 years old and also a brain tumor. And the situation is not the best right now. They just received word that the tumor is growing, or I don't want to say it's growing. They have the results that show that there's growth. And the downside is they don't know if it's because of the tumor is growing or if it's dying. It's either the best thing or the worst thing.
Holy cow. Well, do you want to introduce yourself? Do you want to start off, Eric?
Oh, sure. My name is Eric Espinosa. I'm a TEDx organizer. I did TEDx PCC, and since this is kind of like the TEDactive with TEDx, we did TEDx 1242, a TEDx at TEDactive or TED.
Cool. Shauna, do you want to go?
Sure. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, I'm Shauna. I'm with TEDx Houston, and I am in Houston, obviously. And I am helping with curating and the overall event logistics, and we're working on TED Youth and all of the things. Sorry, I'm just getting into it, so I'm trying to catch up and get situated. So, hi.
Welcome, Meher and Abdelmajid. I'm sorry, I hope I'm saying your names correctly. Do you want to introduce yourselves? Can you hear me? Okay. Okay. Well, I'm Grace Rodriguez, and I'm a co-curator part of the leadership team for TEDx Houston and TEDx Youth at Houston, and the creative director at TEDactive. And I have TEDactive thing as a very recent happening, as you know. since May 1st, and I have a lot of ideas. And basically, the opportunity came up because I was talking to Kelly about how I wanted to make TEDxactive next year much more to improve upon this past one at Whistler, and make it more engaging for both the TEDx organizers and the active attendees. Oops, sorry, Eric. Okay. So did you have any feedback, Eric, since I know you were there, and with the TEDx Salon? What were some challenges or some things that we could have improved on?
In fact, I would say we have a lot of criticism as far as the event this year.
What?
Oh, great. Oops.
It's kind of interesting to see all this stuff kind of popping up right now.
Yeah.
So one of the things that is compared to how it was in La Quinta, I know there was a lot of criticism even when the event was in Palm Springs, but we felt that there was something missing this year in Whistler, and something big. And, you know, there was some magic that was held at, you know, like we like to think of the after hours after the TED Talks ended, that, you know, people would kind of congregate at a, you know, like at La Quinta, they would congregate around the fire pits, around the pools. You had all these other areas that were, you know, all the different suites that you had. The Lincoln Design Center was much larger, and being able to just actually sit down and hang out. You had game rooms. You had all these other places to congregate, but they were not. You were able to find, you know, your quote-unquote tribe at these places. And then this year, it just seemed like it was missing all that. That we were, you know, that's where we make fun of the whole 1242, TEDx 1242, and what had happened in there. And we, you know, we originally got the room just because, you know, we thought the room was going to be, the original room that we had was small, or we thought it was going to be larger, like at La Quinta, but no, it was like a standard room, and so we had 4 people sharing a room, and so we just chose the upgrade, and it worked out that and 1242 became an after night or after party kind of hub, kind of forced us to actually entertain people. So it's, you know, in all honesty, I would say I actually didn't have a good time at TEDactive, and kind of questioning if I would even go back because of that. Because we had, when we opened up the room, it was literally one of the few places that people came to, and I think we were consistently having 70 people each night in the room, and so that's kind of like the criticism we have going there. And, you know, then we were like, well, why are we as attendees being the ones that are providing most of the after night, you know, late night entertainment? We had Sarah Shuey, who was you know, big supporter of us, and the funny thing was, one night she said, she just comes up to me, she's like, Eric, there's no one in the bar right now. They're all in your room. You know, and that kind of painted that picture, because, you know, for us too, is that, you know, like, wow, we literally took a lot of the thunder away from the quote-unquote common areas, but even the common areas were not even as engaging as they were like in La Quinta. You had a bar that was the hotel bar this year, as opposed to like last year, where you had like the design, Lincoln Design, and all these different little areas, and it just felt very disjointed. And, you know, that's why we did feel that having 1242 had that nice common bonding area, and we know we did the salon there, then beer night, and then just a couple parties, and the last party, and all that stuff. So yeah, we feel we contributed a lot this year, and if we hadn't been there, you know, what would have happened for the rest of the community?
Well, it seemed like from some of the feedback that people didn't find that there were really good places to congregate, so I think that's why your suite basically fulfilled that role. It felt like that the lounge area might have been too open to other guests in the hotel, and it didn't feel like our family, you know. And from TEDxers past, it just seemed like everybody was able to congregate around the fire pits without interruption, or worrying about if their conversations were being overheard, or if it was being too noisy in the environment. So that's one of the things we do want to address for next year, is to make sure that the spaces that we do have spaces for conversation that are private to the TEDactive attendees.
Yeah.
The only part of it was that. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, what felt really disjointed about was, we were all kind of central to, I would say the majority of the people were in at the Fairmount, and that we had the fire pits. So they still had fire pits, but they were off to the side, and I think they're what kind of made, or where we lost some of the magic was you had to go through an elevator, wait for an elevator, go to your room. And, everything was just kind of indoors, like so much indoors. And, that's just because we're at a ski resort. And I think there was that magic of being in Palm Springs, where you're kind of outside and everything was just a lot more open, that you were able to pair up with people and just walk, instead of, oh, I'll be back, I got to go to my room, see you in 5 minutes. And then it was like, it probably took 5 minutes just to get to your room. Kind of scenario.
Hi, Kyla.
I was going to ask a quick question, because I wasn't there, but how was the communication, and did they have like activities planned like in these areas, like to engage people, or was it just like no one was going?
Well, from my understanding, a lot of the details of the event weren't confirmed until close to the actual date of the conference. They didn't have enough time to fully flesh out a lot of the ideas they wanted to do at the event this year. So you had the Lincoln tent, which was outside of the hotel, and that was where they had the sketchbook project and some art installations and then a car inside. And we had a reception there one night. And the nights that we had big events that everybody went to, I think those were successful. Like the ending night where we went up a mountain and everybody was there for the shared party, the shared celebration. That was successful. But every time there was something where everybody was in the same room together and it felt like a shared event, those events had the more positive reviews. A lot of the activations this time were, there was a passport system that you had to go. You went on these little tours to different places, and the tours. I don't know. Did you, Eric, Kyla? Did you go on the tours? I didn't get to go on them.
Not only did I not go on them, I hated the passport system. I thought, like, just with, I thought that I'm sorry, because I know this is being broadcast, but I thought the Lincoln connection